It's another video. Today we're reviewing The Grudge. This film came out in 2020 and of course stars Lin Shaye and John Cho. Now before we start, hit that like button, subscribe to the post notification bell so you can notify for every video, and let's just start. Let's start talking about the good. So Lin Shaye, she's good in the film. Of course she is a very good actress. She is good with what she had in this film. John Cho, I also thought was pretty good with what he had. Andrea Riseborough, I have never seen any films with her in it, but I thought she was okay. She was the deputy, I believe, or an officer, police officer. I don't know what she was. Pretty sure she was a police officer. I think she was good enough in the film. And Damien Bashir, I thought he was also good. Then again, they didn't really have a lot to work with for this film, and you can clearly see it from the first act of the film all the way to the third act of the film. You can see that the characters weren't really given that much to work with. The actors and actresses weren't really given that much. And when I move on to my next category, you will see why. So that's all the good that I have about this film. Now let's move on to the bad. So Lin Shaye, of course, all the actors and actresses that I just said, Lin Shaye, Damien Bashir, Andrea Riseborough, and John Cho. The problem with them in this film is that they're not given any character motivations or character development, which means that it leaves you not caring who lives or who dies in this film. I did not care about any of the characters in this film. Surprisingly, I did not care about Lin Shaye's character. She is by far the best actress in this film, but I did not care about her character. And that was very disappointing because she is, again, like I just said, a very good actress, but I didn't care about her. She wasn't really, I guess you can call her a character because she, her storyline is part of the overall storyline of the film, but as a character, I didn't think her character was all that good. The tension. There's little to no tension in the second and third acts of the film, which of course second and third acts of the film are supposed to be the high points of the film, where things start to get resolved in the third act. But in the second act, if it's a horror film, that is mostly where the big scares, a lot of tension, things are slowly being revealed in that second act. But this film, I didn't. There was no clear second and third acts of this film because the characters are all like mixed up in this film. It always just switches to one character and then to another and jumps back and forth, and it gets a little confusing at times. But the second and third acts of the film did nothing to make the film better. In my opinion, it just made it worse. The jump scares in this film. Now, of course, this is a January horror film. The jump scares can be seen from a mile away. I was not scared. There was no tension, no build up for those jump scares, which made it even more, even lazier actually, even more lazy because it just shows that the director didn't put any effort to actually make you scared about what's happening in the film. There's no atmosphere, no tension like James Wan films, and this is just, it's very bland. Jackie Weaver, I didn't think she was all that good. She is very annoying in some sequences in this film. She's just screaming and running basically in the entire runtime of the film. Whenever she's on screen. And I didn't think her character was all that good also, because then again, she wasn't given any character development. I did not care whether her character lived or died, and it was just, her character was terrible. The ending sequence is one of the worst endings to any horror film that I've ever seen. Something happens at the end of the film to a main character, and it just cuts to black. And then the film ends. That is one of the worst endings that I've ever seen for any horror film. Doesn't even make any sense. It leaves you wondering what happened to that character, what happened to that character's son, what happened to basically anyone in this film, because it cuts to different scenes so quickly that when you get to that ending sequence, it's not a good payoff, and to me, it didn't make any sense. And the hour and 34-minute runtime of this film feels like a 2-hour film, and that is very, very bad because I was left bored throughout basically the entire runtime of the film. Um, that's about it. The Grudge is a very bland horror film. It's definitely one of the worst horror films that I've ever seen, and of course, it's a January release, so do not go into this film expecting um, expecting a good horror film. I recommend that you do not check this one out, and I'm going to give The Grudge a D. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the post notification bell so you can get notified for every video. I'm Peter. Thank you for watching.